Good evening. We'll call to order the meeting of the Royal Palm Beach Sports and Recreation Committee. First, if we could take attendance. Oh, yeah, let's stand up and do the prayer first. Pledge first. We're going to have somebody. No, you can go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so let's do a roll call. I know Mr. Brooks is unavailable to join us this evening. Mr. Brooks is unavailable to join us this evening, so I am John Reardon as the vice chair. So, Ms. Katz, are you present?
I'm present.
It's wonderful to see you back.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're at least feeling well enough to join us.
Thank you. I'm very glad to be back.
Good. Very happy to have you. Shanoy? Shanoy is not present. Mr. Rufa?
Here.
All right. Mr. Siebert?
Here.
Ms. Rubin?
Here.
Excellent. And Ms. Leffler? Excellent. And Councilwoman?
Yes, sir.
How are we doing this afternoon,
Very
evening?
well, thanks. You look
Excellent.
quite dapper this evening.
In my shirt where FIU beat my University of Miami Hurricanes Saturday? Yeah, it was a rough Saturday.
Good to be a Gator.
Oh, John. John. First on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the prior committee meeting. If I can have a motion for approval of the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Excellent. Are there any seconds for the motion? Yes.
Yes. A second.
Excellent. If we can have all those in favor of approving the minutes? Aye. Any nays? All right, excellent. The motion carries. The minutes of the prior meeting will be approved. Next on the agenda is comments from the public. Is there any body from the public that wishes to make any public comments to this committee? Please stand and address the podium.
Public?
All right. And
Oh, somebody come up. Shanoy here.
Shanoy, thank you for joining us.
You better take that.
Talk about it.
For the record, Mr. Ragaraj has joined us. Actually, timely. We started 2 minutes early. So you arrived timely. There seem to be no comments from the public. So next on the agenda are comments or reports from board members. Is there anybody that wishes on the board that make any comments?
I would.
Okay.
I was just mentioning that we're coming down there, I don't know the name of the street. By Veterans Park and the rental, Sparrow Drive. It's beautiful. It's lit up like a Christmas tree.
Okay.
And I think it's free. So that's a good side. The other side is the street that Hillary's is on. The handball courts are lit up like a Christmas tree, and the walking path over there is as dark as could be.
Where is this?
I don't know the name of the street. There's one that Hillary's
Camellia?
on, the crest that middle school is on.
You're talking about the charter school
Yes, I don't know the name of
behind the Royal Plaza.
Green School?
Seminole
Right.
Drive.
Okay, yes. There is parts of that road that is pitch black.
Well, unless there's some lights out, which I'm not aware of,
No, there were no light lamps at all.
that's how it's been for,
Yeah, so how come the handball court is lit up like I said, like a Christmas tree?
well, Veterans Park, when it was built, I mean, it was absolutely, I think, overlit. I mean, we got more lights than we really need. But, Seminole Palms Drive, the lighting has not changed
Very dark.
since they were installed.
Very dark. I don't know if anybody goes down that road, but
I don't
it's very
typically.
dark.
And I haven't noticed the lights on Sparrow either, quite honestly.
But that might be a, is that a Paul Webster park? 'Cause it's not in the park, you're talking about on the street.
If the lights are out, it's a public works issue.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if there were lamps there.
Can you all,
Sound to it.
I apologize for interrupting. Can you please make sure that we're using our microphone is active, if in fact we are
Oh,
speaking?
okay. With my voice, you can hear me all
Normally as well, but I'm being told from the back that you can't.
Okay,
So please, if we could.
that's my comment.
Excellent. Are there any other comments from any of the board members? All right. Next are capital projects. Mr. Recchio, if you could update us, please.
Yeah, basically, we've gone through all these projects at the last meeting. But just briefly, if you go down the list, I made notations on the sides of whether they're, at what stage they're at right now. The Veterans Park lighting has been completed. Bob Marcello, we're gonna be lighting fields 2, 3, and the tennis courts. That's been designed and will be going out for bid.
Fields 2 and 3, those are the south fields?
East fields,
Okay,
where we have that quad closest to the high school. Two
gotcha.
fields closest to the high school.
Understood.
Along with the tennis courts.
Yes, understood.
The Robner Park path resurfacing, that's in need of being resurfaced. We've put that off until this year. That was last year's project, but we put it back into this year. And we're gonna do that along with refencing the dog park at Todd Robner. Veterans Park painting and sealing, if you noticed, we painted all the buildings this past year. Changed the color scheme so it kind of matches what we have down at Commons Park. The sporting center renovations, we've totally removed the interior walls of the third floor, and the roll-up plastic, I don't know what you would call them, plastic windows on the third floor, we've removed those and put in solid glass. So now, when you go in there, it's not that you have a room on the interior and then you have like a veranda. It's opened up and it's all one big room. And all the, like I said, all the roll-ups were removed and it's all glass enclosed, which is a lot more effective. And again, it's not going to increase the number of people that can go in there for a party, but you know, the air conditioning and the heating was an issue because we had so many leaks. There'll be 3 sets of windows on each side, the south side and the north side, that they will be able to open up, like on an evening like this. I mean, it's beautiful. You can open up the windows and get that cross breeze. So that's been completed. Commons Park lighting. We're looking to put some street-type lighting coming in off of Sandpiper. Yeah, Sandpiper, where Bobby Joe Lauder Park is, which is behind the amphitheater. We're gonna have 2 to 3 street lights there for the entrance. And then where we took that house down at 109 Heron, we're gonna have some street lights there for the, again, pedestrians coming in. And then the pathway, which is, it's a 5K, or it's 3.1 miles of the pathway around the perimeter and around the back of the dog park. Those are gonna have site lighting, like bollards, okay? Bollards where, you know, they'll be about 3 to 4 feet off the ground to light up the pathway. That's all been designed and will be done this year. Commons Park, oh no, dumpster enclosures are pretty much complete. We're just waiting for the gates to be made up. What we did is we had old wood enclosures, Catsfield, Bob Marcello, and Camellia Park. We tore those down, which was left of them, and we built them with concrete block and stucco. Commons Park, all-access playground. This is a playground for, so it'd be ADA accessible. It's boundless, okay? So anybody who is challenged, whether it be visual, if they're in a wheelchair, anything, they will be able to enjoy the playground. That's going to be located in Commons Park. It's out for design this year. And then we're also applying for grants to help pay for it. We're looking to put in a grant for $500,000, and engineering has also got a grant in for $500,000. The skate park fence replacement, we haven't done anything with that, or the, if you look down lower, I think we have, we also have a project for fencing to enclose the soccer fields. So when the time comes, we shut the fields down, they'll be shut down. You don't have to worry about anybody getting out on the fields and tearing them up when we're renovating them. They won't be able to get in there with their cars and do donuts. This has all happened in the past.
Motorcycles?
This will prevent that.
No motorcycles?
No motorcycles.
So you'll actually have gates that'll close
Gates will
the road
close.
off?
When we close the park in the evening, the gates are closed. There's no
Because right now you just have the
access.
bars, right?
Pardon?
You just have the 2 bars
With 2 bars.
at Cats.
No, these, well, right now,
Right.
but.
Anybody can
it'll
just
have
jump
these-
over them or go under them.
They'll be able to get into the parking lot if they want to jump over them, but they can't get on the field.
So the
because
fields will
it's
be
chain
completely
link.
fenced,
It's gonna be
like
chain
6
link.
foot high?
Right.
Okay, that
Um,
makes sense.
The gymnasium at the rec center has been totally repainted, whole new color scheme.
Just seems like yesterday you just did it. I think Mike joined us the first time. Wasn't that one of your first projects?
Yeah.
It was a masterpiece.
Bob Marcello Picnic Pavilion, where the 2 playgrounds are right now outside of Field 4. If you notice, there's a big space between the 2. We're going to be putting in a 32-foot picnic pavilion. Banquet garden at Commons Park, all the shade sails have been replaced. Pine Road Park, which is off of Crestwood Boulevard, we replaced those shade covers. We took down the metal awnings because they were rusted, and we put up shade covers similar to what we have at Commons.
Similar to what's over the driving range? Same material that's over the driving range?
Right. And then the next one is the security cameras. Council has approved 2 POs for 2 different jobs. We actually met with the, who is gonna be the manager on site, and we'll be putting in security cameras in the recreation center, around the perimeter, cover the parking lot. It'll cover the basketball courts. It'll cover the skate park. It'll cover the RC track. And also we'll have another connection going to Cats around the perimeter of the concession building and cover the parking lots and the fields. So that whole area will be covered with this project. In addition to that, Camellia Park will be covered with security cameras to take care of the tennis courts, the playground, the bocce courts. Everything will be covered with security cameras. The
Lou,
P-
if I can interrupt you for a sec, you brought up something that I was thinking about the other day, actually, the RC track. It's not utilized very frequently. What is the current situation with that?
They rented it for the year,
Okay,
for the first Saturday of the month.
okay.
And they have meets there, they have competitions there, but it's only once a month.
Once a month, okay.
Okay, But there are people that go in there during the week
I
and
do.
use it, the locals. So it is being used. The next group of parks that are going to have security cameras, which council just approved last week, we will be doing Farron's Park, which is behind Royal Palm Elementary. That's where the girls play their softball. So that park will be covered with cameras. The Todd Robner Park, which is another park that more and more people are using and walking around there, and you got the dock, all that will be covered with security cameras. And last but not least, Bob Marcello, the parking lot around all the buildings near the ball fields, that whole area will also be covered with security cameras. So 6 of our major parks are going to be covered. Everything should be complete by June of this year.
Wow.
Any questions?
Thanks. Actually, there were a couple things. The Commons Park lighting that you had talked about, especially going around the cart path, if we can look into getting those as solar lighting, because they're the smaller ones, just since there's so many of them. I don't know if you've already put them out to bid, but that was something that I'd wanted to see if we can do at least some solar lighting out of all the lighting that's going in
Okay.
there.
Okay.
The other one was you had talked about the all-access playground that you're doing, and that State Representative Matt Wilhite is actually sponsoring that, so we can put in for it. So hopefully we'll get that, and we have our state representative's support on that too. So trying to get that. And then could you just talk a little bit? It's not on the agenda, but the rideshare program that the recreation center's now doing.
Oh,
Please,
sure.
thanks.
Sure. The ride share, let me just finish the Green Market and Fantasy Craft Fair. If you've noticed, and if you haven't noticed, we have moved the Green Market from Veterans Park to this campus on the perimeter road. We thought more visibility and everything, because we were having a lot of our vendors were dropping out. It was difficult for them to unload and load their trailers and get their tents out, because there's no access to drive into Veterans. So we moved it out here. The vendors are more than pleased. There's a lot of business, and if you come out here on Saturday, I think you're finding a lot of people are just stopping in because they see it from this major intersection. So that's been very successful, and that was a good move, I think. The Fall Fantasy Craft Fair, which still takes place at Veterans, we're seeing the same thing happen as we did with the Green Market. It's a downtrend. Vendors having, again, the issues getting into the park and loading up to get out. We've got in the back of our minds for next year of doing one of two things, and we've got a questionnaire that's going to be going out to all the vendors that we've had in the past. One is to combine it with the Green Market, in October or November, and the other option is to combine it with our Rock and Fall Fest. Now, we are going to have the Fall Festival, which it used to be. We changed it to the Rock and Fall Fest to make it like an October Fest for the adults. So on Friday night, it's more adult oriented. You'll have a huge tent, and you'll have alcohol, you'll have the beer, but the following day on Saturday, everything will be changed over to the kids, and then we'll have the kids costume contest, the kids inflatables and games, craft fair. So again, we've made it for 2 nights. We are looking to take this Fall Fantasy Craft Fair and possibly combine it with the Rock and Fall Fest in the beginning of October. The decision has not been made it's something we're looking into, and we want to get some feedback from our vendors to see what they feel about it. But it's just not working out at Veterans. I mean, it's going downhill.
So the ride share.
Rideshare. Rideshare is for seniors 65 and over. You have to be a Royal Palm Beach resident. And we've got, we just got gift certificates from what's called PAPA. And what it is, they're actually college kids along with adults that will, it's like Lyft, it's like Uber. The nice thing about it is you don't have to have an app on your iPhone. You can just get on the phone, call them, tell them where you want to go. There's a $35 gift certificate that the seniors are eligible to get once a year. They get the $35. All they have to do is make a call if they want to be brought to their doctor, or if they want to be brought to the airport. The first 10 miles is free. But once that $35 is gone, then you're on your own for the year. The whole idea of this is introducing them to the service, and where we'll also have cards from Uber. And in order to get that card, you have to take a class. It's a tech class for seniors. We have an instructor that comes in. It costs them nothing to take this class. It's the first Tuesday of each month. And the class will basically teach the seniors how to use their iPhones, how to use an iPad, how to use their computer, how to get the app downloaded on your phone so that you can get this service. And again, they'll register with the village. If you're a resident and you're over 65, you get the gift card.
Perfect.
We do that something similar now, right? Seniors come to.
Any questions?
I have no questions, Mr. Recchio.
Sounds like
Anybody?
a great program.
And again, it's not to pay for their transportation forever. It's
Right.
to
No.
introduce them to the
Technology.
An
service.
alternative.
Right.
Excellent.
Introduce them to the service.
All right.
Anything else?
So they have to take this class.
You have to take-
learn how to do the app on their phone.
And it's not just to learn the app, it's to learn the technology, just to learn how to use it,
Right.
okay? Then they have their choice. Like I said, the nice thing with Papa is actually on the card, it has their phone number. If you've ever tried Lyft, or if you've ever tried Uber to call them, you can't talk to somebody. So this is a plus. This is a plus. They can get on the phone, they can talk to a human on the other side and explain exactly what you need.
Because we have a class now at the rec center that the
It's that
students.
class.
That's the class.
That's-
That's the class.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Maybe for the public, what is it, once every, first Tuesday every month?
Every first Tuesday of every month.
I think 3 o'clock.
And like I said, we just got the cards. So the meeting in December, any resident 65 or over will be eligible for that card.
Do you think they could teach me how to set the clock on my VCR?
What's a VCR?
I don't know, I've had it for 50 years, because it blinks 12, 12, 12. It's still plugged in, I don't use it anymore.
All right. Next on the agenda is an introduction to Adventures in Learning. Angie Reinhardt. Ms. Reinhardt, it's all yours.
Let me introduce Angie. Angie ran our pre-kindergarten classes over at the rec center, and we're going to the next step. Going to get certified. The building will be certified with Palm Beach County Health Department. And we had to make a number of modifications. So what you're going to notice is the wing at the north end of the building. don't know if you're familiar with it, but I'm sure, John, you are. It's the wing that's off by itself, where we had an art room, we had a meeting room, and a dance room. Well, we've totally separated that wing. And for security purposes, and again, it's a requirement from the Palm Beach County Department. In there is when we will have, well, Angie will be holding her classes for ages 2 to 5. She'll have 4 sessions, and I'm gonna let her get into that. Anybody who hasn't gone through the background check or anything we can't go in there. Once her classes start, that's it. It's off limits to, even our custodian will go in before and after her classes to do whatever it is that we have to do. But again, we're adding security cameras in there. We had to bring in water. We had to
Security
make some-
doors.
yeah, we had to make some substantial,
I actually remember discussing that at a prior meeting
I think
some months back.
Well, I think that they asked us nicely to shut down for a while until we fixed all
we
these
were
issues.
shut down.
Right.
Because we weren't certified, and
Yeah.
again, it was, how it came about, we don't know. So it's taken us a year to get to this point.
Okay.
that
And
we-
when do we start?
Well, we're hoping to start in January, but I'll leave that up to,
And what was enrollment last time when we ended?
I don't remember how many kids. Angie can get into that. Okay, so I wanted Angie to explain her class.
Great.
Okay?
So my name is Angie Reinhardt, and I'm the owner of Early Childhood Adventures, which will be having preschool classes at the rec center. They were previously there, like he stated, but now we had to turn it into a designated daycare facility. But we're not running with the hours of like 6 to 6 like typical ones. We're still doing 2-day-a-week, 3-hour classes for 3 to 5-year-olds. So it will draw a lot of attention to the village, I think, because people are looking for alternative means for their kids if they don't want them in full-day care. So the classes will be Tuesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Friday. 8:30 to 11:30 is the first session, and 12:30 to 3:30 is the last session. Before, it was only 1 classroom, but now we've had to license 3 classrooms back there. So the growth is there. When we were shut down before, we were at 48 kids, which is fantastic. In the grand scheme of things, if the world was perfect, we could have up to 112 kids in the 2 classrooms. I do plan on attending the educational advisory board, because I feel like that would be great for our village to like start young and carry them all the way up. Let's see. So are you interested in the prices or like?
Sure.
So it's going to be $175 a month for residents and $200 a month for non-residents, which is between $25 and $50 cheaper than like competitors in this market. They will.
I apologize for interrupting, but that's
That's
for
okay.
2 days per week, either Tuesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Friday.
Correct.
For one of the sessions, not for the morning and
Correct.
the, okay.
Could they do 4?
They could. I've had kids in the past, a handful of them, that the parents signed up for all 4 days.
Right.
And could they do à la carte if their schedule changed? I'd say I need 4 this week, but next week I only need 2 days, and 6 weeks
It's-
later I need 4 days that week.
It's paid by month,
Okay.
so I guess you could change by month.
Monthly.
I only let 14 kids come in a class. I have my master's in early childhood, and I have an assistant with me all the time. And there's a lot of growth also as far as extending or expanding on the daycare license, as far as we can turn it into school-aged kids care for like spring break camp, winter camp, Thanksgiving camp, non-school day camps. We've done before the Friday night out, or like date night drop-off. I'm interested in going there. And I think that's all.
Excellent.
Any questions?
Do you live in the village?
Yes.
Let me just also let you know that this is, like Angie said, this is something that's needed in the community because it's a drop-in program. You know, it's not all day. And obviously, we don't want to compete with these daycares that offer classes from 7 in the morning to 4 in the evening. We're not looking to compete with the local businesses. This is something it's really not offered out there. And I think that's why it was successful up to this point, and then we had to close down. And now, you know, again, we're gonna open up again, and it should be a very, very good program.
Yeah, the only programs that are like this are over in Wellington, and they're doing very well. They're all at like the churches over there.
You know,
St. David,
Peter's.
St. Peter's,
Yeah.
the Temple Beth Torah. Those would kind of be like my competition.
What's the population age? What are you looking, I can't remember. What-
3 to 5 for right now.
So is this like VPK?
It's the year before VPK, but I also,
Would the kids just go to school starting what? I mean, it used to be kindergarten, first grade.
Right.
So now it's VPK, kindergarten. Wow,
right, so you don't have to send your kids to VPK.
you don't.
You don't have to.
You have to send them to kindergarten?
Then if you don't, you're
Yeah.
a horrible parent. You're behind the 8 ball already,
Yeah.
Right,
and you're shamed for it.
so yes.
Thank you very much, Ms. Reinhardt. We appreciate it. Next, I believe, from reading the agenda, it's Mr. Mikolajczyk.
Oh, well, here we go.
Do me the honor, Lou?
This first flyer that you're gonna be looking at, this is not the tech class for the seniors. Just want you to know that.
Good evening, board members. I'm Mike Mikolajczyk, Assistant Director, Parks and Recreation. I'm going to give you some updates in regards to our winter programming schedule and our upcoming special events. Before I do that, I did want to mention we had a significant hire within the department. We hired a person by the name of Silvio Pierre Luis. He's going to be our new events and facilities manager at Commons Park. He comes from Lake Worth. He has 3 years of experience there, planning events and managing a facility there, and 7 years in Parks and Rec. So we're really looking forward to him adding to our events and really taking Commons Park as his own. Brandon Pendergrass, who's there, he's going to move over into athletics over at the Recreation Center. So it's actually a perfect fit all the way around. So we're excited about that. In regards to programming, starting first with our youth programming, our youth basketball program started earlier this month. That's grades K through 8th. We got about 200 participants in that program. The season will run through January and conclude with a playoff format for grades 3 through 8 at the end of January. In addition to youth basketball, we're underway with our winter sessions for Little Sluggers baseball, Soccer Tots, and Little Hoopsers. That's for ages 2 to 5. In total, we have about 50 little athletes enrolled for those programs. We're also preparing to offer a new Pee Wee sports program. So instead of the focus being on an individual sport, Pee Wee Sports is going to be something where they're going to do a different sport each week so that children, again, for ages 2 to 5, have an opportunity to play these different sports and figure out which sports that they're really interested in. That program will begin in January. Another new program, it's actually the first flyer in that packet that I handed out. This is a program we're going to start in January. It's called Techie Kids Club. Basically, we're going to, like you said, start young, and we want them to get to learn technology other than just looking at YouTube videos all day. So there's going to be basic coding. Participants will become more familiar with controlling robotics, gamification, and digital storytelling. And it's an educational class that will allow the children to collaborate, problem solve, create, and design, and have fun. And it's going to be typically with a tablet. And again, that will start in January. As for adult programs, we'll continue through the winter season with yoga, total body conditioning, Zumba, karate, adult basketball, and adult flag football. Those programs are all based out of the Recreation Center. Moving on to seniors, the Young at Heart Club opened membership in early September, and we currently have 365 members. I checked this morning, so I know that number will continue to grow. The next Young at Heart luncheon is on December 6th at the Cultural Center. It's a Roaring Twenties theme. It has a Christmas show and a steak dinner. So we have about 240 members signed up to attend that luncheon. Following the luncheon, we have a Jungle Queen sightseeing dinner and show cruise. That's on December 10th from 4:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. The cruise is fully narrated and travels down the Venice of America in Fort Lauderdale. Guests will then arrive at a tropical isle where they will enjoy a lush tropical setting, treated to an all-you-can-eat buffet. And that trip is actually sold out. We have 55 members already for that. On Thursday, December 19th, the Young at Heart Club will host a tie-dye social. Participants will make tie-dye shirts and enjoy light refreshments while listening to 50s and 60s music. That will be from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Recreation Center. In addition to the Young at Heart programs, we are going to run a senior holiday party on December 20th at the Recreation Center from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. There will be a gift exchange and entertainer performing songs from the 60s, lunch and dessert. And I believe the guy in the big red suit will also show up. Lou mentioned the senior technology classes. That's held again on the first Tuesday of each month at the Recreation Center from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Seniors will learn better ways to utilize their smartphones, tablets, and applications in those workshops. And he mentioned the PAPA program and Uber program. We have senior luncheons on the second Tuesday of each month at the Cultural Center from 11:30 to 12:30. There's speakers on various topics such as health and well-being, nutrition, mental health, and lunch is provided for those as well. Moving on to the events. Right now we actually have our fall quarter auction going on at the Cultural Center. I stopped by over there, very good turnout, about 100 plus people in attendance. What that is, for those of you that don't know, participants purchase a paddle or paddles to bid on specific items. The auctioneer will set a bid price or number of quarters for items such as clothes, artwork, gift cards, etc. And if participants decide to bid on it, their paddle number goes into a drawing for the prize. And actually, that event right now, the proceeds are actually going towards the Royal Palm Beach Scholarship Fund. So that's pretty cool.
Is that for next year's, that's not for 2020 distribution, that's for 2021.
Lou, is that? That would be this year, right? With the mayor's.
Because I think we already have it in the line item, we've already budgeted. It's my understanding that we're still giving it, and I apologize.
So it's to my understanding, because we already have it budgeted for the fiscal year of 2019-2020, that was then going into 2020-2021.
I thought it was going to offset. Is it not this year?
It is, that's what I wanted clarification for. I asked the village manager on that too, because there's some questions on that. So just to make sure, how many scholarships are we giving out, or where's then that extra funding going? So that was a question that we had. Thanks.
And our big event on Saturday, December 7th, we're hosting our popular Winterfest event at Commons Park from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Prior to that event, we'll have a Santa 5K fun run walk, and actually, there's actually costumes that will be provided, Santa costumes, so it's pretty funny to watch. And that will be at 7:30 a.m. The Winterfest event will include a gingerbread house competition, so that's free kits and toppings that you can actually decorate a gingerbread house inside the sporting center with your family. An artificial skate rink, a 12-foot snow slide, a children's arts and crafts station, a Santa's workshop area where children can write a letter to Santa. There's also an igloo there. Train rides, horse and carriage rides, a petting zoo, a free kids fun zone, shop vendors, food trucks, hot cocoa and cookies, live entertainment by local schools, and then we also have a band called Studio 54 that will be playing holiday music. Our 28-foot Christmas tree will be lit at approximately 6:15 and will be accompanied by a firework display. Then Santa will arrive at 6:30 to take photos with the public. And so as you can see, it's a pretty jam-packed event. There's a lot going on, so very excited for that one. On December 10th, the Royal Palm Beach Community Band will perform their annual holiday concert. That's at the Cultural Center. The event begins at 7 p.m. and offers refreshments and great entertainment, and that's free to the public as well. After that, on Friday, December 13th, we'll be conducting our movie night and food truck expo. We're showing The Grinch. That's at Commons Park. The food truck expo will begin at 5 p.m. and the movie will start at 7:30 p.m. On January 18th, we're partnering with American Cancer Society to conduct our first glow-in-the-dark 5K fun run. That event will be from 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at Commons Park, and the run will begin at 6:30. The event will include a mini food truck expo, vendor booths, a DJ, a glow-in-the-dark costume contest. Giveaways and prizes will be provided by the American Cancer Society. And that's an event that we actually want to make annual, so we're hoping that it turns out well. PBSO is actually going to help out, and they're involved in that as well. Lou mentioned the green market, so just a reminder again, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Village Hall. It's really picked up traction, a lot of great response from our vendors and people that are in attendance. And then lastly, it's a little bit early, but I did just want to get the word out. We have moved our Mayor's Golf Tournament from the morning of July 4th, which is pretty hectic and chaotic, to February 1st. So it's a standalone event. We hope that we'll get a better turnout, seeing that it is not on a holiday and the weather is a little bit cooler. That event will be at the Village Golf Club, and again, the proceeds will go towards the Royal Palm Beach Scholarship Fund. So we actually have registration open right now, so you can actually register your foursome as we speak. What was it? What did you want me? 16? What did you have me on me?
12-foot high.
Yeah.
Slide.
Yeah, I did. I had it in there. Yeah. And that concludes my report. Any questions?
Nothing from me, Mr. Mikulacek. Thank you.
All right.
Did you mention that adult flag was now?
Adult flag, yes.
What kind of numbers did you have this year?
7 teams.
Is that typical? 6,
No,
7, 18?
it really is a cycle. It's anywhere from 7 to 12. So it's probably on the lower side, but yeah, it's a cycle. You know, once adult basketball picked up, it's a very popular program right now.
Really?
Yeah, and flags kind of take a little bit of
adult
a.
flags at Seminole?
Yep, Seminole Palms Wednesday nights.
And they've started games.
Yep, yeah, they're actually finishing up now.
Oh.
So it'll be playoffs, and then we'll start in the spring again.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No. Thank you.
Sir.
Appreciate it.
Go
Thank
Bills.
you. All right,
Bills.
everyone, is there any other further comment from anybody? I know we had a late comer to the party. Is there anything that you would like to say, ma'am?
No, she's here.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure and give her an opportunity.
She's the one who brought the cake. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Wait, actually,
Okay.
sorry, last thing. So I would just like to add, though, but thank you very much for your service. So the village appreciates your volunteerism, also to all the coaches, too. So all of our sports that do that. So thank you very much for everything that you do throughout the year. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I would like to announce, we just found out that our under-12 Pop Warner football team, who won the national championship last year, is going into the Southeast Regional Championship this Saturday.
Very nice.
And should they win there, they'll go to Disney for the national championship games.
Once again.
Yep.
And on that note, I don't know if I was going to bring it up or not, but we had a product from our village that grew up through the Pop Warner program. Is 22-year-old, soon to be 23, 22-year-old in October, I think it was. Kareth White, who was an FAU product, got drafted late by the Chicago Bears, didn't play all year. Was 4th or 5th on their running back depth chart. Got traded last week to the Pittsburgh Steelers, my Steelers. Very thrilled about that. And I know he's still close with some of his coaches from the area, people like Leonard Watson and others that helped bring him into the sport of football when he was 10 years old. And they got a text that Tomlin told him he was going to start this week, and he did. First NFL start, had a big first quarter, and made a big splash in the NFL, and he's a local product, so we're proud of him.
Very nice. All right. On that note, a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Excellent.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Excellent. We are in adjournment.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.